The midnight tax collector. Imagine waking up in the morning and discovering that someone visited you during the night. Nothing was stolen. Nothing was broken. You never heard a sound. Yet somehow, a tiny payment was collected. It sounds like the beginning of a detective novel. But in the Amazon rainforest, this strange mystery unfolds almost every night. Hidden within the darkness lives a creature surrounded by myths, misunderstandings, and centuries of fear. The vampire bat. Most people picture a terrifying monster. Others imagine a tiny flying villain, auditioning for a horror movie and taking the role far too seriously. Yet the truth is far stranger. This animal performs one of the most precise biological operations in nature. It approaches sleeping animals without being noticed, locates the perfect spot, makes an incision so delicate that the victim often remains asleep, and quietly departs. No chase, no struggle, no dramatic soundtrack, just a mystery that begins and ends in silence. And the deeper scientists investigated this bat, the more impossible its abilities seemed. One of the greatest mysteries surrounding vampire bats was simple. How do they find the perfect feeding location in complete darkness? The answer sounds almost supernatural. Vampire bats possess specialized sensors around their noses that can detect heat emitted by living animals. In effect, they see a map invisible to most creatures. Warm blood becomes a glowing target. Large veins become pathways. Suitable feeding locations reveal themselves like hidden treasure. If humans possessed the same ability, finding lost pizza slices at midnight would become an elite survival skill. Scientists eventually discovered that these heat-sensing organs are among the most sophisticated biological temperature detectors ever observed in mammals. The bat does not simply locate an animal. It identifies the most efficient location with remarkable accuracy. What appears to be luck is actually a masterpiece of evolutionary engineering. And yet, this ability was only the first piece of the puzzle. For decades, researchers wondered why animals often failed to react when vampire bats fed. The answer was hidden in extraordinary precision. Rather than biting aggressively, the bat creates an incredibly small incision. Its specialized teeth are razor-sharp and continuously maintained. The process is so refined that many animals barely notice. Then another surprise emerged. The bat's saliva contains compounds that prevent blood from clotting quickly. This allows a steady flow without repeated intervention. To scientists, it was astonishing. Nature had engineered a flying specialist equipped with biological tools that rival sophisticated medical concepts. The image of a savage predator suddenly collapsed. In its place stood something far more fascinating. A highly specialized nocturnal technician. Perhaps the world's smallest surgeon. Though one suspects hospitals would hesitate before accepting its resume. Now the mystery takes an unexpected turn. Because vampire bats are not merely hunters. They are remarkably social. Inside caves and hidden shelters, researchers observed behavior that seemed almost unbelievable. A bat that successfully feeds may share food with another bat that was unsuccessful. This sharing can mean survival. A hungry vampire bat cannot survive many days without feeding. So individuals often help trusted companions. But there is a catch. The assistance is rarely random. Bats tend to remember previous social interactions. Those who help others are more likely to receive help later. In a strange way, the rainforest night contains a tiny economy based on trust. Imagine a banking system run by flying mammals. Admittedly, customer service might be challenging. Yet the underlying principle fascinated scientists. Cooperation was playing a major role in survival. The next question was even more puzzling. How does a creature evolve to live almost entirely on blood? Blood is not an easy food source. It lacks certain nutrients and presents numerous biological challenges. For years, researchers investigated the evolutionary path that led to this unusual lifestyle. Evidence suggests that vampire bats likely descended from insect-eating ancestors. Over immense spans of time, small adaptations accumulated. Heat sensing improved. Teeth specialized, digestive systems transformed, kidneys became exceptionally efficient. The result was one of nature's most unique dietary specialists. Every feature tells part of a story millions of years in the making. A story so improbable that if it appeared in fiction, many readers would reject it as unrealistic. Nature, however, often ignores such criticism. For centuries, vampire bats became symbols of fear. Legends transformed them into creatures of darkness. Popular culture amplified the image. The reputation grew larger than the animal itself. Yet science revealed something unexpected. The real vampire bat is neither supernatural nor monstrous. It is an extraordinary example of specialization. a creature shaped by environmental pressures into a biological marvel. Its world is one of stealth, precision, cooperation, and adaptation. The greatest mystery was never how the bat survived. The greatest mystery was why humans misunderstood it for so long. Because once the myths disappear, something even more fascinating remains. A tiny animal that navigates darkness using invisible heat. A mammal that remembers favors. A specialist that performs delicate operations while the forest sleeps. And somewhere tonight, beneath the Amazon moon, another silent visitor is already at work. No alarms, no witnesses, no dramatic confrontation, just the quiet collection of nature's smallest midnight attacks. And perhaps that is what makes the vampire bat so unforgettable. Not because it is frightening, but because reality turned out to be far stranger than fiction. Just when scientists thought they had uncovered the vampire bat's greatest secret, another mystery emerged. The answer was hidden inside a drop of saliva. For centuries, people viewed vampire bats as symbols of fear. Yet researchers eventually discovered that one of the bat's most unusual biological compounds possessed remarkable scientific value. The same substance that helps blood continue flowing attracted intense attention from medical researchers. Suddenly, the animal that inspired nightmares was inspiring laboratories. Nature had concealed a sophisticated biochemical toolkit inside a creature weighing less than a deck of cards. It was a startling reminder. Sometimes the most valuable discoveries are hidden in places nobody wants to look. Imagine being a scientist explaining to friends that your latest breakthrough came from studying vampire spit. That conversation probably requires excellent presentation skills. The discovery revealed a deeper lesson. Evolution is not an engineer working toward human goals. It simply solves survival problems. Yet those solutions occasionally become treasures for science. The Amazon rainforest is often called the world's greatest library. The vampire bat represents one of its most unexpected books. A living manuscript written over millions of years. And researchers have only begun reading the first chapters. The mystery was no longer confined to caves and moonlit forests. Now it had entered hospitals, laboratories, and universities around the world. But an even stranger question remained. How does such a small animal avoid becoming prey itself? Because the hunter of the night is not at the top of the food chain. Not even close. The popular image of the vampire bat suggests an unstoppable predator. Reality tells a different story. In the rainforest, danger comes from every direction. Owls patrol the darkness. Snakes wait among branches. Larger predators exploit any mistake. The hunter is constantly being hunted. This creates one final mystery. How does such a vulnerable animal survive generation after generation? The answer lies in caution. Vampire bats are masters of risk management. They move carefully. They observe constantly. They spend surprisingly little time exposed. Every successful night depends upon avoiding countless dangers. One error could be fatal. In a sense, the vampire bat lives inside a permanent detective story. Every shadow may conceal a threat. Every unfamiliar sound may signal danger. Every flight becomes an investigation. And perhaps that is why this creature captivates us. Not because it drinks blood. Not because legends transformed it into something frightening. But because its entire existence is built around solving impossible problems. Finding food in darkness. Navigating invisible heat signatures. Maintaining social alliances. Avoiding predators. Adapting to an environment where survival is never guaranteed. The vampire bat is not the villain of the rainforest. It is one of its greatest mysteries. A small silhouette crossing the moon. A biological puzzle that continues to surprise scientists. A reminder that nature's most astonishing stories are often hidden inside its smallest characters. Tonight, somewhere in the Amazon, a bat will leave its cave and disappear into the darkness. Most creatures will never notice it. Most humans will never see it. Yet the mystery continues, silent, invisible, unfolding beneath the canopy exactly as it has for thousands of years. And perhaps the greatest secret of the vampire bat is this: the closer we look, the less it resembles a monster, and the more it resembles a masterpiece. If you enjoyed uncovering these amazing animal secrets, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to stay updated on all our future videos. Don't forget to click the bell icon, so you'll never miss out on more fascinating stories from the animal kingdom. Thank you for watching, and we can't wait to explore more hidden secrets with you in the next video.